Good morning, everyone. As we were discussing the concept of circular motion, we have introduced the concept of centripetal acceleration. So, when a body is moving along circular path, basically there will be two acceleration. One is the centripetal acceleration, this we have discussed. Another is tangential acceleration. Centripetal acceleration, its formula we have derived, that is v square by r or omega square r. Any of the two formula can be used depending upon the given parameters. Second is tangential acceleration. Tangential acceleration, that is the acceleration which is acting along tangent. So this is alpha into r. Now, so if a particle or a body is moving along circular path and centripetal acceleration is acting towards center and tangential acceleration is acting along the tangent, so the resultant of these two acceleration will be given by under root of AC square plus AT square. So it will be V square by R plus alpha square R square. So if body is not having any tangential acceleration, so in that particular case there will exist only centripetal acceleration. And if body is not having any centripetal acceleration, it means it is not moving along any circular or curved path, it will have only tangential acceleration. So in numerical, this concept of tangential acceleration will be used. So let me discuss one numerical where the direct concept of this tangential acceleration we will use. Now this is NCERT exercise numerical, quite very important. A cyclist is riding with a speed of 27 km per hour. As he approaches a circular turn on the road of radius 80 meter, he applies brakes and reduces his speed at the constant rate of 0.5 meter per second square. See, within these two lines, very important informations have been given. So let me read the statement first. What is the magnitude and direction of net acceleration of the cyclist on circular turn? See, first of all, as a cyclist is riding with a speed of 27 km per hour, as he approaches a circular turn like this, cyclist is moving as he approaches a circular turn of the road having radius 80 meter. He applies brakes. Suppose he is coming from this and the turn is coming. He reduces his speed at a constant rate of, see here, this is an important point, reduces his speed at a constant rate of 0.5 meter per second square. So think on it. What information you are getting from this point? When you will see here reduces his speed at a constant rate, you will treat it as speed. But see, here its unit. Reduces his speed at a constant rate, that means with time this speed is reducing and acceleration that is given to be 0.5 meter per second square, and this will be tangential acceleration. So now what is the magnitude and direction of net acceleration of the cyclist on the circular turn? So it means as he is moving, the cyclist is moving along circular path, centripetal acceleration must act along this direction because the person is applying brakes and his speed is reduced, right? So in that particular case, so here, sorry, this is centripetal, this will be C, AC for centripetal and AT for tangential. Why T? Because it is acting along tangential direction, right? As the brakes are applied, speed is reduces at a rate, that means due to reduction of speed, this acceleration produces tangential acceleration. Now under the influence of these two acceleration, we have to find net acceleration, that means this acceleration, that is resultant of AC and AT. We have to find its magnitude as well as its direction. So as the person is moving such that speed is 27 km per hour, so first thing I will do, I will just convert it into meter per second. So here it will be 15 by 2, that is 7.5 meter per second, right? Then radius of the circular turn, that is given to be 80 meter. So what will be centripetal acceleration? We know its formula v square by r. So directly I will substitute the values, and when I will solve it, this will come out to be 0.7 meter per second square. You can check its calculation part, right? Now see here, this as brakes are applied, basically the person is moving along this. When brakes are applied, that means speed is reducing, therefore negative acceleration will be there. So it is, we are taking along this direction, so acceleration will be in the opposite direction. अगर हम इसकी स्पीड इस डायरेक्शन में लेंगे तो टेंजेंशियल एक्सेलरेशन नीचे की तरफ लेंगे. ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि ब्रेक्स आर अप्लाइड, एंड ब्रेक्स अप्लाई होने पर स्पीड इज रिड्यूसिंग, दैट मीन्स एक्सेलरेशन विल बी नेगेटिव. So here tangential acceleration it already given here, that is 0.5 meter per second square. Now the resultant of these two will be under root of AC square plus AT square. So what is the work here? Just substitute the values, and when you will solve it, calculate it, and directly writing the answer, this will come out to be 0.86 meter per second square. So this will be the magnitude of resultant, that is net acceleration. Now to find its direction, so I can take its direction, let me take the angle of inclination, let it be alpha or beta with vertical, or you can take it with the radius. It's your choice, it will not make any difference. So if beta is the angle with net resultant, net acceleration is making with tangential acceleration. So in this particular case, here you can see that this is AT, this is A, this is beta, and this is your AC. So now within this triangle, let it be OAB. So within this triangle, tangent beta means perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular will be, it is parallel to AC, so it will be AC upon AT. That means 0.5 upon 0.7 upon 0.5. It is 1.4. Right? So you can use natural tangent tables, or because we have not told you directly this table, so directly you can write in this form. This is also correct form, right? You can leave the answer up to this point, because these tables cannot be explained like this. This we actually you have to learn this from the maths, or if you are not familiar with the maths of class 11th, then you have no need to worry about this, because I am just avoiding your burden, because you people are medical students. So if you will be just involved in those table part, they may create confusion to you. So don't get confused with that. Simply you can leave up to this point, right? So this is your numerical where you have calculated net acceleration as well as its direction. Coming to next numerical. An insect trapped in a circular groove of radius 12 centimeter moves along the groove steadily and completes 7 revolutions in 100 seconds. See, an insect is trapped in a circular groove having radius given, and then in that particular groove, that insect completes 7 revolutions in 100 seconds. On this basis, what is the angular speed and linear speed of the motion? Second, is acceleration vector or a scalar vector? Scalar quantity. Is acceleration vector or a scalar? What is the magnitude and what is its linear displacement? So now, as per the statement, an insect is trapped in circular groove of radius 12 centimeter. Now it completes 7 revolutions in 100 seconds. So it means what information we can obtain from it? We can obtain that in 1 second how many revolutions completed, that is frequency. It will be 7 upon 100, number of revolutions completed per second, right? Now we have to calculate angular speed and linear speed. So angular speed omega, this is 2 pi into nu. So 2 into 22 by 7 into 7 by 100. So it is 0.44. You can check, this is 0.44 radian per second. This is angular speed. Now linear speed, this is omega, v equal to omega into r. So here radius is given and omega we have calculated 0.44 into 12. So when I will multiply it, this will, because it is in centimeter, so I am not converting it, it will come out to be 5.28 centimeter per second. It's your choice. If you want to convert, then you can convert it in meter, but there is no use of changing it in meter, because all other given factors have no effect of change of the unit. So now, first of all, we have calculated angular speed and linear speed. Second question was, is acceleration vector a constant vector? Basically not constant, it has been asked, this acceleration vector a constant vector? See, as an insect is moving in circular groove and it is completing certain revolutions, so as acceleration will be directed towards center of the circular groove. So insect moves, the direction of acceleration will automatically change. So if it is moving in this circular groove, at every point direction of acceleration, although it is towards center, but its direction, it is varying, right? It is not remaining to be constant. So acceleration vector is not a constant vector. Now what will be its magnitude? This is omega square r. It means 0.44 square into 12, and on solving it will come out to be 2.32 centimeter per second square, right? So statement seems to be slightly difficult, but if you understand the concept, it will not create confusion. Last part, what is the linear displacement? See, as this insect is moving, covering 7 revolutions, it means it will complete 1 revolution, reaching back to the same point. After 7 revolutions, insect will come back to original position, initial position. So total displacement, that means linear displacement, will be 0. So that's why we have calculated the linear displacement is 0. Now last numerical I am taking. A particle moves in a circle of radius 4 centimeter clockwise at constant speed of 2 centimeter per second. If x and y are unit acceleration vectors along x-axis and y-axis, find the acceleration of the particle at the instant halfway between p, q. See, it's not necessary here this figure is given, because you can draw this figure, right? Here, first of all, we will understand the statement. As a particle is moving in this circular of radius 4 centimeter and it is moving in clockwise direction, right? Speed is given to be, rotation speed, that is constant speed, is given to be 2 centimeter per second. X cap and y cap are the unit vector along these two axes. So find acceleration as the particle is moving from P to Q, right? It is moving from P to Q. नहीं, figure it should be given here, because यहाँ पर इन्होंने क्या बोला है, find the acceleration half way between P Q. So it should be mentioned in the picture, in the figure, that where P and Q are located. So figure should be given here. So find acceleration of the particle at the instant halfway between PQ. So halfway it will lie somewhere else. So now see, as this is moving in circular path, acceleration will be acting toward the center, right? Now if this is the acceleration, this will be the vertical component and this will be its horizontal component. So on the basis of given parameters, let we solve this numerical. So now, as circle radius is 4 centimeter and as it has been given, the particle is moving from P to Q, and we have to calculate acceleration at point R, and the constant speed that is given to be 2 centimeter per second. So basically centripetal acceleration that is acting towards the center, it will be V square by R. V is given, R is given. So I can easily calculate this. This comes out to be 1 centimeter per second square, and it will be along RO. So this will be the acceleration. Now this can be sufficient in itself, whereas as it has been given at x cap and y cap are unit vectors along x and y axis. So basically we have to express this acceleration, centripetal acceleration, in vector form. For that we have to find its vertical component as well as this horizontal component, right? So this angle is given to be 45 degree. It has been given to be 45 degree, also given in the statement, right, in the figure. So here if this is 45 degree, now what will be the x component? This x component, this will be, if this is 45, this will be 45. So this component, this will be AC cos 45. So AX is AC cos 45. I am repeating it because it is a small one. So I am getting it, giving you in detail. देखिए acceleration, centripetal acceleration is towards the center. This angle is 45 degree. अगर हम इसको resolve करना चाहें तो पहले अगर ये horizontal लें तो this angle will be 45 degree. So this will be AC cos 45 degree and perpendicular component will be AC sin 45 degree. This is the broader view. So this AC cos 45 degree, this is x component. अब AC value is 1 and cos 45 is 1 by root 2. So AX is 1 by root 2. अब हम AX को अगर वेक्टर फॉर्म में लिखना चाहें तो क्या लिखेंगे? अब ध्यान से देखना है हमें. Because see, this is this O to this is पॉजिटिव x. अब ये जो कंपोनेंट है ये नेगेटिव एक्सिस की अलग हो गया. देखिए इस तरफ पॉजिटिव एक्स एक्सिस, ये वाला कंपोनेंट नेगेटिव एक्सिस की तरफ, नेगेटिव एक्स एक्सिस की तरफ. तो ये डायरेक्शन नेगेटिव की हम कैसे दिखाएंगे? माइनस साइन के साथ. और एक्स एक्सिस की डायरेक्शन कैसे दिखाएंगे? एक्स कैप के साथ. सो माइनस 1 बाय अंडर रूट 2 एक्स कैप. ठीक है. सिमिलरली इफ वी विल कैलकुलेट दिस ए वाई विल बी ए सी sin 45 degree. Again it will be 1 by root 2. So in vector form, अब देखिए आपके पास फिगर के अकॉर्डिंगली जो हम ये देखें, एक्चुअली ये x दिया हुआ था और ये y. अगर आपके पास नोट्स हैं तो आप उसमें भी देख सकते हैं कि ये आपका x कंपोनेंट, ये आपकी x डायरेक्शन, ये y डायरेक्शन. तो अगर ये ऊपर वाली डायरेक्शन पॉजिटिव y है तो नीचे वाली क्या होगी? नेगेटिव y. और नेगेटिव y को फिर हम कैसे रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे? माइनस साइन के साथ. दूसरा डायरेक्शन किससे बताएंगे? y कैप. क्यों? क्योंकि x कैप एंड y कैप दोनों हमें क्या दिए हुए हैं? यूनिट वेक्टर्स अलोंग x एंड y एक्सिस. राइट. ठीक है ना. इसका मतलब सेंट्रीपिटल एक्सेलरेशन के हमारे पास ax एंड ay दोनों कंपोनेंट हमने निकाल लिए. अब एक किसी भी वेक्टर को हम कैसे रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं? x कंपोनेंट प्लस y कंपोनेंट. क्योंकि हमने इसकी डायरेक्शन i कैप और j कैप तो हम ऑलरेडी ले चुके हैं, तो इसलिए हम यहाँ पर लिखेंगे माइनस 1 बाय रूट एक्स कैप माइनस 1 बाय रूट 2 y कैप एंड दिस इज माइनस 1 बाय रूट 2 एक्स कैप प्लस y कैप. सो दिस सेंटीमीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर. ठीक है. थोड़ा सा हमें ध्यान से देखना है इस क्वेश्चन में, क्योंकि फिगर में हमें मेन पॉइंट जो बिल्कुल क्लियर हो रहा है कि सेंट्रीपिटल एक्सेलरेशन लगेगा आर पॉइंट पर, लेकिन हमें इस एक्सेलरेशन को वेक्टर फॉर्म में रिप्रेजेंट करना है, तभी हमने इसको रिजॉल्व किया है. और जब हम इसको रिजॉल्व कर रहे हैं तो यहाँ से एक्स कंपोनेंट और यहाँ से वाई कंपोनेंट निकाला. इस एक्स और वाई कंपोनेंट को वेक्टर फॉर्म में यूज़ करके टोटल एक्सेलरेशन हमने ऑब्टेन किया है. सो बेटा, this way you can practice more and more numericals on circular motion. So this was the last topic along with numericals of kinematics. You can see that after 13th video, next all this is 44 or 43 I think, whatever be the video, you can see how long this chapter was. So you have to complete all those videos. If you have not watched anyone in between, any doubt left, still you can revise, you can just see the previous videos to get more clarity. This unit in itself is a bulk, so practice it continuously, because from numerical point of view, from conceptual point of view, this unit is quite very very important. So now it's over from my part. Now practice on your part. Any problem you can discuss. Thank you. Have a nice day.